Today's passage is Matthew chapter 6, verse 24 to the end of the chapter. A while ago, in one of the George and the Dragon stories, I used the expression, befriend our fears. Today's passage reminds me of this, and I might need to explain a bit about what it means and how one could befriend such ghastly things as fears. The same goes for worries, which Jesus talks about here in the Sermon on the Mount. In case you're wondering, I'm not barking mad. This is similar to approaches taught in mindfulness meditation and in cognitive behavioural therapy. It can be helpful, especially after a little practice. Let's see if I can explain. You may recognise the experience of having a persistent worry or negative thought, which keeps sucking you into a sort of whirlpool and makes you feel you can't escape, especially at night. It might be fear or anger or worry or resentment or bitterness or jealousy. Now, some of these thoughts we need to act on if there is something we can do about them. But very often there isn't. And especially if we're worrying about something that hasn't happened yet, such as catching COVID, it's completely unproductive. Yet it churns round and round in your head, getting worse and worse, and you feel trapped and taken over by it. The good news is that it doesn't have to be like that. We can escape. The trick is to spot that persistent negative thought when it begins. And the sooner you spot it, the easier it is to deal with it. You get better at this with practice. As soon as you realise that you're in that negative whirlpool again, stop and think to yourself, aha, I know this thought. I've had it before. Hello, anger. Hello, fear. I recognise you. Now, just wait a minute. I'm looking at the wonderful colour of these roses. Did you ever see such a red? And focus your thoughts on the roses. Really concentrate. Or whatever it is around that you can focus on. Now, this won't work immediately. The thought will come knocking again. Knock, knock. Oi, you're angry, remember? Consumed with anger, aren't you? Again, as soon as you notice this is happening, just say to yourself, aha, there it is again. Well, well. Hello, anger. Hello, fear. Hello, worries. I know how this goes. But hold on, just now I'm doing this. Something else. Don't try to silence the negative thought or fight it off. That just makes it stronger. Just keep bringing your mind back to something positive. However many times, just keep doing that. Practice helps. Eventually, what happens is that you get to recognise the very first hint of that negative thought when it approaches you, and you can greet it like an old friend. Oh, there we are. It's anger back again. Hello, anger. Hello, fear. Or resentment, or worry, or bitterness, or jealousy. Hey there. Take a seat, chaps. At the moment, I'm just saying my prayers. Be with you in a minute. And this attitude of indifference and calm disarms the thought, releases you from that churning whirlpool. You don't have to pick up that thought and follow it. You have a choice. You don't have to feel the feelings that go with it. You can choose another thought and another set of feelings. You can choose to follow that instead. Do you know the story of Martin Luther, constantly beset with temptations, as we all are, who said he drove the devil away with ink? People like to imagine this means he threw his inkwell at Satan. It's a lovely story. But I think it's much more likely that what he meant was he focused his attention on his work of translating the Bible, writing it out by hand with pen and ink, and really focusing on that. Oh, morning, Satan. Have a seat. I'm busy translating this chapter. I've really got to get to the end of this chapter today. Okay, be with you in a minute. In the end, your worry and anger will get bored and wander off. And each time it comes back, knocking again, it's weaker and has less of a hold over you. So, thanks be to God, who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ.